There's literally nothing else I can be doing right now, so I might as well just film this video. I've been thinking about this topic in particular for a pretty long time. As an ex-stoner, I am very well versed in the cannabis arts, and I could tell you with confidence and certainty and from experience all that I'm about to tell you. So, first of all, my credentials. I started smoking in 2018, and I started smoking with pot, and I started smoking, and then I moved to edibles, and I tried genuinely every derivative there is, except hash. I don't even know what that is, but I've done dabs. I've taken a ton of edibles. The Delta 8, Delta 9, THC A, X, B, Delta 10, Delta 11. I didn't do Delta 12. But yeah, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. And there are different derivatives of cannabinoids, whatever. And everyone makes you feel a certain way. It fucks with your anxiety in different capacities. And they do different things to you. And, when I was doing them in THCA, THCX, THCP, I did, and et cetera. And regular THC, obviously, I smoke dealer marijuana. But, excuse me, sorry, had a Fresca. And every time I do a different derivative, I'd kind of analyze what it would do to me. And so the one thing I noticed is that, how do I even say this? So first of all, I'll start with what the video is actually about. I'll start with how it destroys your life, and then I'll just go into maybe detail a little bit later. But so, okay, there's this myth that you can't be addicted to smoking marijuana because you can't get addicted to the plant itself. There's no addictive chemicals in marijuana, which obviously is a bullshit argument because there's no addictive chemicals in porn, but people still get addicted to that. There's no addictive chemicals in fucking food, but people still get addicted to food. So, there's no addictive chemicals in alcohol. People still get addicted to fucking drinking alcohol. So, that's a bad argument. It genuinely does not make sense. It's a poorly constructed argument because it assumes that because there is no addictive chemicals in something, it's impossible to get addicted to that thing. And it's genuinely not true. And so I'll explain to you this. What happens when you smoke marijuana is the cannabinoid receptors in your brain, get overflowed, and you get a lot of dopamine and shit like that. And that's what feels good is the dopamine. Okay, if you smoke more, then you need more smoke. The more you smoke, the more you need to feel the same shit. And then guess what? Your dopamine receptors are overflowed, and then they come down, and then you're sad, and then you have to smoke again, and then sometimes you can get caught in this loop of anxiety where you have to smoke because you're anxious, but you're anxious because you fucking smoke, and you stay up late and you can't sleep, and you're an insomniac because you need to smoke, and then you smoke, and then it causes your fucking sleep circadian rhythm to get off because it's what it does. And then you're like, oh no, I need to smoke to go to sleep. And it's like, no, you need to fucking take magnesium or melatonin or some shit. And so okay, so what does it actually do? So the main thing it does, and this is the main problem, this is the thing that will kill you. Not like physically kill you, but even worse, you will basically not be alive. It lowers your vibration so severely, you're basically not even a member of society. It kills all your hobbies, it kills your drive, and it kills your potential. That's the worst thing. It murders your potential. And that's not something you could really feel until you stop doing it and you go, oh shit, I have so much more motivation, energy, and drive to do all these things, do X, Y, Z thing. So I've been sober for 7 months now, like flat. So, well, not I'd be drinking, but I've been flat sober on weed and drugs in general for 7 months now, and by choice, this is definitely the longest I've ever gone since 2018. I started smoking in like high school, right? Well, right at the end of high school, right after graduation. And then I went to military college, so they randomly tested, and I couldn't smoke for the month leading up to going back to college during breaks or at college. And so the second I got home for those 3 months during summer, no lie, I was high every day. I was high for genuinely 3 months straight. Go back to school, sober up, and I come home, be fucking high the whole time. And then I graduated, and there's obviously no regulations on my drug use. But I wanted to do certain things. I wanted to like join the Secret Service. I wanted to be a cop and shit like that. And so I had to get sober. And I do think it held me back from some of those things because my usage was too recent, and I don't think they fucked with that. And so it kept me out of those opportunities as well. And it's like, so your vibration gets lowered. And let me explain this because it's kind of like, it's something that doesn't really make a lot of sense to people if they don't understand what that is. And so what I mean when I say your vibration lowers, you operate at a certain frequency at all times. And it's obviously you're not like shaking and emitting radio waves, duh. But what I mean is you operate at a certain temperature and in a certain radio wave, metaphorically, and the things that are attracted to you are on your radio wave. So let's say you're a man and you don't take care of yourself, you don't groom, you don't go to the gym, you don't really care about how you look, you're not focused on making money and getting an income increase, and that's your life, right? And you have low self-esteem and you don't do anything to fix it. You will attract women. All men can attract all men can attract a woman, but the women that guy will attract will be very low quality, probably obese, probably argue with him all the fucking time, probably unhealthy, doesn't take care of themselves as well. And guess what? You guys are on the same fucking frequency. And so if you want a better woman, you're going to have to raise your frequency so that those women on the higher frequency will be attracted to you naturally. And you won't have to really do anything. You won't have to put in any effort in terms of reaching out to get these women. They will gravitate towards you because you're on the same frequency. So to do that, I recommend personally semen retention for a short period of time, a month or two, and then iron out all the inconsistencies in your life. Go to the gym, try and make money. People are surprised that women are interested in resources. They're fucking mammals. That's how it is. And then, take care of yourself, pray, eat right, things like this. And these things will, and go to the gym, and these things will naturally raise your frequency. You'll get attracted. Different things will get attracted to you that are better, people, opportunities, things like that. So when you smoke, now that we know what vibration and frequencies are, when you smoke, the marijuana lowers your frequency. You become more isolated. You don't want to interact with people. And the thing that fucks with you is like, you don't know that your frequency is lower because you are just operating. You're just living. You're just doing your thing. And so you're sober for like a day or two. And then you're like, oh, I feel totally normal. No. You're not. You need months. You need time, weeks, months to return to fucking baseline. Not only to return to baseline, but to get back all of the things that you lost operating at a low frequency. Because when you're down here and you were up here, you begin to lose all of these things because you guys aren't on the same vibration level. Whether this be respect, admiration, women, friendships, relationships start to dwindle. Okay, and you think they're the problem. You're probably the problem because your fucking vision is blurred by the weed. Okay, man? And this isn't something that you could write down in a scientific research paper. So people don't know this exists. And I could tell you from experience and from the people I've talked to, and you could just see it in people, man. People who smoke are just anxious as fuck. They're not confident in themselves. And I was one of those people. And I've watched my friends start smoking, stop smoking, start smoking because I've been friends with them for so many years. And I can genuinely tell when they're actively smoking a lot or when they've been consuming a lot because they just change. They become less like themselves, dude. Less outgoing, less charismatic, things like that. And so that's what kills you because it kills what you could be. It kills what you could be. You get one life, you know? You cannot hinder your potential. You get one fucking life. And so smoking does that, bro. It eradicates your potential very fucking quickly if you consume it in copious amounts over a long period of time. It will kill you, literally. Well, obviously not physically again, but I mean, dude, if you're living and not living, if you're like alive but not living, you might as well be dead. What's the fucking difference? You know? So when you stop smoking, it'll take, I think it takes like 2 or 3 weeks to get back to like mental baseline, but then it'll take months. Maybe for me, it was like 3 to 6 months for my vibration to align. And then all of the things that I lost start coming back into my life. And so when I stopped smoking, because I wanted to join the police force, and even when originally I stopped because I wanted to join the National Guard, and then I kind of banked on that because I was like, Jews. And so now I kind of want to be a cop because I feel like they have more autonomy. And so I was like, fuck it, I'll just stop smoking and improve my life a bit. And man, the change, I'm telling you from firsthand experience, guys, anecdotal evidence is evidence. It's, you have to stop. You have to. You're missing out on so fucking much. Okay, so that's the vibration. That's the spiritual side. Let's talk about physically. Overloading your dopamine system, like a weed over. Jesus Christ, sorry. I said that sentence like 6 different times. Overconsumption of weed is akin to overconsumption of pornography, such that there's a dopamine flood in the brain. And so the same kind of thing happens where if you're consuming a ton of porn and you're consuming a ton of weed, the similarity is that you're flooding the brain with dopamine. So when you flood the brain with dopamine, the brain gets used to this flood and looks for that flood, and that flood specifically, which means that it gets less pleasure from regular things in life. So your hobbies that used to bring you pleasure don't bring you as much because, hey, this is so good now. This is so loud. I miss this, says the brain. And people, experiences, foods, the little things, they don't mean as much to you. And you don't realize that it's happening. That's the thing that's fucked up. You can't feel it. You just can't until you stop. And then you compare feeling this and you go, oh shit. But like, if you're high all the time, you're not going to notice and be like, hey, I get less dopamine from this activity. No, you just don't want to do it as much. You have, bro, I'm telling you have to. This is from someone who, I'm talking about, wasted thousands, hundreds a month, $300 or $400 a month, just walking to the store every single day, genuinely every day, to buy joints. And I would smoke one in the morning. When I woke up. That was genuinely the first thing I did. Was wake up, walk maybe half a mile to the store, buy my J, walk back, spark, do some shit that didn't matter, wait till later that night, spark again, and go to sleep. That was it for better part of a year, man. Better part of a year. And then I stopped. Everything changed. I'm trying to tell you. Things came to me. Things showed up. The things that I actually wanted to be there showed up. So I'm telling you, the opportunities that you're missing out on right now, man, it's serious. It's serious stuff. You have to consider the life that you could be having is amazing. It's beautiful. But you cannot be there. You cannot. It's not possible. And people think, I only do it a couple times a week, a couple times a day. I'm not smoking as much as this person. Bro, just don't bother. Just don't bother. You're not missing out on fucking anything, dude. I'm telling you. You're not missing out on anything at all, bro. You're not. I swear you're not. Trust me, dude. I'm trying to tell you. Oh, man, and I'm telling me this, like, past me, and I'm trying to tell you, the people who are on the fence watching this video right now, and they're like, I just need a sign. Dude, this is the sign. You could be so much more, genuinely. You could be so much more. And I can't tell you what that is, and you can't tell you what you're going to be, but you just got to believe, man. Like when you stop, things change, things improve so much. Things don't get worse when you stop. Maybe you're anxious for like 2-3 days, but after that, it's just you're a completely different person. You're a completely different person, and your personality returns, things like that. Man. But yeah, this is a little bit shorter than I expected. 15 minutes. I thought I was gonna go for like 45, but I'm serious. Like, man, please think about it and look up the dopamine shit I was telling you about. But you're not going to find anything about how weed lowers your vibration, really, unless you're watching some niche YouTube video from a guy like me on the corner of the internet. It's just, there's no scientific research behind that. There's really not. So, I mean, you could dismiss it, you could blow it off. But I mean, dude, I'm telling you the truth. Like, that shit genuinely destroys everything you could be. And and I'm not like I'm not saying it's a bad thing. There are people who CBD is good for them in small doses, but it's just like daily use, unless you're using it maybe once a month. Maybe when you're hanging out with the boys, you go on a camping trip, you spark a J, that's fine. But dude, like, waking and baking is insane. You cannot do that. That will kill you. Okay, so hey, stuff to think about. Just consider it. Look this shit up. Do your own fucking research. But coming from someone who used to smoke, I'm talking a ton. I'm talking I would smoke until I coughed so much that I got sick. I'm talking about I would literally smoke. So I would smoke sometimes 3 or 4 J's a day, sometimes. And I would smoke until I like was hacking up fluids. And then I would get sick the next day and be sick for a week. And then I just tell my family, I don't know, I'd be like, I don't know, it's the weather or something like that. Couldn't talk and shit. That's how much I smoked until I couldn't. That's how bad it was, bro. Okay, and you might not be there, but I'm still telling you, any amount of like daily use is too fucking much, bro. It'll fry your brain, it'll fry your personality, and it'll fry your fucking spirit. And those are things that you need to have on track if you want to get everything you can out of the only life you have on this fucking earth, bro. Okay, so check that out. Do your own research.